Zombies Ate My Neighbors, developed in 1993 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System and Sega Genesis by LucasArts Entertainment and published by Konami. The version you're going to be seeing in this particular review is going to be the Super Nintendo version. The evil mad scientist Dr. Tongue has created and unleashed a horde of monsters from his castle into the surrounding cities. They're out to devour all of surviving humans in the area, and it's up to Zeke and Julie, two young teenagers and their unconventional weaponry, to take out the monsters and defeat Dr. Tongue. Zombies Ate My Neighbors is a top-down action game where the player must rescue all the surviving victims from around the area while surviving the waves of monsters trying to attack them. You get to choose from two different playable characters, Zeke and Julie. Both of them play pretty much exactly the same, so it's up to you whether you want to play as a young kid with 3D glasses and spiked up guile hair, or a young girl in a baseball cap and a ponytail. Excluding all the bonus levels, Zombies Ate My Neighbors has 48 main levels. Each level the objective is the same. Rescue all the victims and make it to the exit door while surviving wave after wave of unending monsters. From the start of the game, you have 10 victims that you need to rescue, but every time a victim dies, the numbers of victims you rescue in the later levels get smaller and smaller. Sometimes after finishing a level, you get a victim back. Lose all of your victims, and the game is over. Playing through the game, though, you feel some of these people deserve it, like a cheerleader who feels like practicing her routine in the middle of a zombie-infested battlefield, and these tourist people, and an archaeologist, and a guy just chilling out in a swimming pool, and what the hell, this guy's just having a cookout. Hey, I know the world's ending and all, but man, them steaks ain't gonna cook themselves. As you play the game, you'll find a variety of weapons and special items that will aid you. You can find med kits to heal while you're playing the game, bazookas, soda bombs, clowns to distract the enemies, and even special potions that have effects such as invulnerability and turning into a giant purple monster to just blaze through the zombies. The game has a very vast and wide array of enemies. You start off fighting zombies, and you fight little goo puddles, killer dolls, mummies, Frankenstein monsters, vampires, werewolves. One of my absolute favorite levels is you fight these guys wearing hockey masks and chainsaws. And being a big Friday the 13th fan, I got a big kick out of that. Although Jason Voorhees never used a chainsaw. The closest he ever came was using a weed whacker in Friday the 13th Part 7, but I'm getting off track here. There's also a lot of locations to visit throughout the game. You start in small little suburban areas, but later on you can go visit pyramids, office buildings, mines, beaches, castles. With 48 levels, though, it does tend to recycle later on in the game, but there's enough variety. There's also a password system to pass levels that you've already finished. After every 4 levels in the game, you're given a password, meaning the highest you can go without cheating is level 45. At that point, you're on your own. There's also a handful of hidden levels throughout the game you can access by certain means or by password. There's even a level in the game dedicated to Day of the Tentacle, which was the sequel to another LucasArts game, Maniac Mansion. Like many titles in the LucasArts library, this game has become a cult classic. It has a bright, colorful art style reminiscent of the cheesy 1950s sci-fi horror movies. It's also filled to the brim with Hollywood movie references, like this level right here where you're in the mines and you're fighting these giant underground snake creatures. The level itself is called Invasion of the Snakeoids, which is a reference to the movie Tremors. When the characters are trying to name the underground monsters, one character suggests the name Snakeoid. As you progress, this game gets harder and harder and harder. You need to keep on writing down those passwords because you're going to be using them again and again. Despite the soul-crushing difficulty in the later levels of the game, Zombies Ate My Neighbors is an absolute blast. I recommend picking it up for anyone who could locate a copy on either the Super Nintendo or even Sega Genesis. And if you've got a friend along, hand them a second controller because it's even more fun. The final level is just an absolute maze, and you need to find all the skeleton keys to get to the doors to fight the final boss, Dr. Tongue. He drinks a special potion and turns into a giant spider. After you defeat the spider, he just becomes a giant floating head, and the more you chip away at him, the more decrepit he begins to look. But once you defeat Dr. Tongue, the final door opens up, and bam, it calls you a winner, and then it goes through a tally of all the enemies you killed throughout the entire game. There isn't really an ending to Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but after the winning screen, you go to the secret credits level, and there, you go through LucasArts headquarters and meet everyone involved in the game. And look who meets you at the front door. George Lucas himself. You son of a bitch, why did you sell off to Disney and let them close down LucasArts Studios, you mother? Anyways, guys, that's the end for Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I thank you very, very much for watching. Please leave a like and a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. I will see you tomorrow on day 8 of the 31 games of Halloween. Have a good night.